Hailing frequencies open, and welcome to Star Trek Discoverage, the live podcast that boldly goes into excruciating detail about this week's episode of Star Trek Discovery. I'm your host, Aaron Coker, a.k.a. Caliban, and joining me on the show, as usual, is my co-host. She's also the co-host of the Generations Geek podcast, a more or less family-friendly celebration of geekdom on the Chronic Rift Network. It's Ella Pearson. Ella, welcome back.
Thank you. I missed being introduced like I'm important.
Yes. I'm glad that I can make you feel important. We are back in the saddle. We're back on the bridge for another adventure.
I'm so excited. It didn't hit me until honestly like 4 hours ago, and I was like, oh my god, what? There's new Star Trek. Wait, hold on.
Right. And speaking of time, you're in London currently, and I don't even want to think about what time it is there.
It's late. It's fine.
It's worth it to feel important, though, right? To be introduced as someone important.
It's more than worth it, and honestly, I just miss doing random stuff at weird times of night from delivering papers all summer, so I'm having a great time.
All right. Are you having fun in England when you're not doing cross-Atlantic podcasts, that is?
So much fun. It's me and these two other American study abroad girls have been doing like all of the touristy things. We climbed St. Paul's Cathedral. We did like open house London and went in a bunch of like government buildings where they scanned our bags. It's been wild.
Awesome.
It's so much fun.
Also joining us on the show tonight, she's the co-host of the Just Enough Trope podcast, a non-family friendly look at all the news that's fit to cast in the world of nerdy entertainment. It's Diane Blumenfeld. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Just Enough
Excited
Trope.
to be here.
Yeah, it's good to have you. Your podcast, Just Enough Trope, is a podcast that examines the tropes found in genre entertainment. And that's all well and good, but what I want to know is, where do you land on the real main event this weekend? Who's going to come out on top, Venom or Lady Gaga?
Oh my god.
Totally Venom. That's my vote anyways. Although it could easily turn and be Lady Gaga. I know her fans have been voting for that. So
Why?
I guess it remains to be seen.
Yes, Gaga is a master of her voice and singing, and Hardy is a master of dialects, I guess.
He's a master of voices.
Yes, he's a master of something. I'm not exactly sure. I don't really understand what the hate is between these fan bases. If the audience doesn't know, I guess Lady Gaga's fans or fans of A Star Is Born are out there. They're working it. They're trying to make sure that like people go to their movie and not Venom. And they seem to be at opposite ends of the spectrum of interest. This is like if Transformers fans were getting mad at God's Not Dead 3.
I think you hit the nail on the head there. I don't think that there is much overlap in this Venn diagram at all. So
yeah, all right. Well, I wish them both luck, and
yes.
I think that Gaga should take it in stride. She should have like a Venom-themed dress or costume or do something like that.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
All in black, trash bags.
Yes.
She's probably done that. She's done that already for sure.
Probably.
What else is coming up on Just Enough Trope in the future?
Well, we actually are going to be talking about Venom. We're going to go see the new film, and we're going to be talking about his first appearance in comics in Amazing Spider-Man number 300.
Okay.
So that's pretty exciting. And we're also, Doctor Who is back.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So we're going to be talking about the 13th Doctor, Jodie Whittaker, and her first full episode.
And Ella's going to get it straight from the tap from the BBC in England there.
I know, it's the energy. I'm just feeding off of like Doctor Who Twitter because everything's happening in London and I'm here too.
Sure.
It's a good feeling.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll start a Doctor Who podcast later, I guess. Diane,
Perfect.
You watched the first season of Discovery. We know what Ella thought of it. What did you think of the first season of Discovery?
I really liked it. I'm not a huge fan, I guess, of the Klingon makeover. I mean, it's
Sure.
it's okay. I'm not going to go to, Michael Dorn lengths and go on to say why I think it's inferior, but
Yeah.
but I thought it was really good. I thought there were a lot of twists and turns. I really enjoyed Michael Burnham. I like Tilly a lot too, so it's pretty exciting that the short track was about her because I think she's a fun character, so it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, well, speaking of Tilly, we should probably speak about Tilly and get into our format here. We just watched the first in a series of short films set in the universe of Star Trek Discovery called Short Treks. and we'll be getting one a month until Discovery Season 2 begins in January of next year. January, as far as when Discovery 2 comes out, is all we have. It's likely that we'll probably learn more about Discovery Season 2 and get a firm release date at the Star Trek Discovery panel this weekend at New York City Comic Con. Fingers crossed for that. And I have to take 1 second here just to do a weak little kind of I told you so, Ella. We were here 8 months ago asking ourselves when Discovery would return. And I said fall of 2008. And you all said that I was crazy. Well, guess what? I am crazy. But I'm also kind of right. I mean, here we are. We're sitting and we're watching Discovery, and it's October.
It is. I mean, you were right. It's Discovery. There's 3 more coming.
That's
it's
right.
Basically a series at this point.
Yes.
And we're doing the podcast on it, so it's official.
Here we are. I might have been total. Well, we all know, or maybe we listeners don't know that there was drama behind the scenes of the production. I think that definitely slowed it down. So, I mean, it's good that we're getting these little things to tide us over until January. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for season 2, and you guys have seen the teaser, right?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know if I have.
Really? Well, you're going to have to check that out. But not during my airtime. I also want to extend a personal thanks to the Sony Corporation, whose wonderful hardware and the incessant useless updates they force on their users led to me having to watch this basically on my phone tonight. The PS4 is dead for the time being.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It's really unfortunate timing.
So, got to go take care of that later. But enough of that. We're here to talk about the first short trek film, Runaway. As always, we're setting a course for the spoiler zone listeners, so be warned. We're glad you decided to join us, but if you haven't seen the episode, be warned, spoilers are incoming. The official synopsis for Runaway is, on board the USS Discovery, Ensign Tilly encounters an unexpected visitor in need of help. However, this unlikely pair may have more in common than meets the eye. It was written by Alex Kurtzman, who needs no introduction, the co-creator of Discovery, writer, executive producer, showrunner, and by Jenny Lumet, who is a writer and actress who's probably most famous for writing the 2008 film Rachel Getting Married, and she also worked with Kurtzman on last year's The Mummy. And this episode was directed by Maya Vervillo. And what were your impressions of Runaway? Diane, what'd you think of the short?
Well, it was very short. I mean, we get to see Tilly in all of her greatness. It definitely circles around her. She has to be kind of creative and on her feet and dealing with this runaway. And I think she handled it pretty well. And despite what her mom has to say about her being in command, I think that, she would make a good commander. I feel like the runaway Poe was not necessarily the most creative way to, I don't know. She's a twin with her planet, which I'm still trying to figure out how that works.
Scientists will be trying to figure that out for years, I think. But
yeah. But she loves her planet, like very, very much, and that's incredibly clear.
Yeah.
I find it kind of interesting that she's a fugitive and also the future queen, and her coronation is the following day.
Yeah. That sounds like a show. I'd watch that show.
Yeah, I know. Which was kind of a twist, finding out that she was royalty.
Do you think that you mentioned Tilly and her command school or being on track to be a captain? Do you think that when they mention that a character really wants to be a captain, we have to sort of see that in some way? Because I know that, isn't it like Nog on DS9 was like, I'm going to be a captain someday. And then, of course, when we get that flash forward in The Visitor, we have to see, oh, here comes Captain Nog.
Yeah, I do feel like they feel like they need to show that they're taking strides to be in command. I mean, she's just an ensign right now.
Yeah.
So we need to see her striving for that. And, of course, Michael encourages her and is like, you'd be a great captain and that sort of thing. But I think that they have to show that. I I'm trying to think of other characters in Star Trek who have wanted to be in command. The only other character I can think of is like Worf, who was on the kind of trajectory in Deep Space Nine to be in command, but because of things that he does, he's told that he will never have his own command now.
Yeah, he messes it up a little bit. Yeah,
yeah, a little bit.
Ella,
He did his best.
He did his best. He did it for love. Ella, what about you? What'd you think?
I loved it. It's hard for me to let a short film just like be a short film. Because when you give yourself 15 minutes, it's like, that's a pretty big handicap. But no, I loved it. And I love Tilly. I love that they like the premiere short was Tilly.
Yeah. I think, she's sort of the mascot of the show in a lot of ways.
Oh, for sure. Captain Killy.
Well, that too, yeah. I also was, as I was watching it, was thinking about its construction as a film. And one of the things that I'm excited about with these shorts is the idea that they're short films. Trek, since its inception, has been an hour-long show. It's been a procedural, if you will. And so how do they attack Star Trek? Oh, of course, the films as well, like 90-minute, 2-hour films. But how do you attack a Star Trek storytelling situation when you've got a very small amount of time, 10, 15 minutes, and basically it just seems like they, strip like the A story out of an episode. So I could see a hypothetical Discovery episode where Tilly is trying to protect this strange alien, and then we've also got Saru is doing something over here. Maybe Michael Burnham is dealing with something, and we've got like an A, B, and C story, but we sort of cut all the fat out and just focus on Tilly. And it was clear that it was very important to them to emphasize Tilly's journey through this foil of this other character, who I'm just going to call Poe, because I can't remember the full name, but I think, Poe is what we're going with. And the way that they sort of reflect each other. And I don't know, I was thinking about the logistics of her planet or her situation. Diane, you mentioned her being, the queen or the queen-elect, however that works. Right. And it just seems like so did I get it straight that her brother is the king, but she's going to be the queen?
Yeah, but her brother is dead.
Yeah, her brother died.
Okay. So
her family died?
What happened? Yeah, what happened to her family? I'm kind of worried about that. It doesn't seem
I'm worried about that too.
It seems like it's dangerous on her planet. Yeah. What's she going to end up in? What situation is she going back to?
It's a little terrifying. I mean, she's a fugitive, but they want her back in like one piece. But is she going to get in trouble when she goes back? Is she going to be reprimanded in any way? Is her life in danger? These are all questions that I have.
I feel like there was some big like political problems that we were just sort of sidestepping around.
Yeah. And for a show that is clearly meant to have an uplifting kind of tone, I like that they didn't get mired in the sort of dark implications. But there are definitely implications to what they're talking about. I mean, they're talking about Poe has invented this method to recrystallize dilithium, which I think Spock and Scotty invent that in Star Trek IV. And presumably bring it back to the future. So I don't know, like canon-wise, not to be a canon cop, but it seems like maybe she doesn't get back to her planet, or nobody ends up. She doesn't end up passing this technology on, because as far as I know, like that doesn't really exist at their time in the Star Trek timeline.
I also like, how close are they to the planet that Tilly's like, oh yeah, I'll just beam you back down there. It's no problem.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay,
I was also wondering about that.
Beamed into
we
deep
got
space.
these things, they work great. Like
freezes to death. Yeah, I think that was just it's time for it to be over. If it went 2 or 3 more minutes, Saru would walk in and be like, I was looking at the transporter logs and we dropped off somebody on such and such a planet. What was that? But
for real, like Tilly's gonna be in so much trouble.
Yeah, right.
I know.
It's got to clean up the mess hall too.
Yeah, I don't know how she managed that.
Do you think that we'll see Poe again?
God, I don't know. I would be pleasantly surprised if we got to see Poe again.
Yeah.
But I feel like I don't know how much they want these short treks to factor into or like affect the next season or the series overall.
Yeah.
Or whether it's more of a like, we don't want everyone to hate us like before the first season came out, so you can have these.
Right, just to, like, breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
I could see that. I mean, I think that, it's an interesting character and an interesting construction, just the Zahians, and I think Poe as a character is certainly, I think there's the potential there to sort of develop that. So, I don't know. I mean, this is a universe where, you know, they've got Linus, the lizard alien guy, and they've redone the of course the Klingons and the Talarians and the Andorians, and so I think they're definitely looking to build out their list of aliens. So I don't know. I think it would be interesting if they looped back there sometime for another episode, another adventure.
I mean, yeah, it'd be fantastic.
Let's see those dilithium mines.
For real.
Yeah.
I have like zero expectations or like assumptions at all about the net. Like I have absolutely no idea. Like I just don't know what they're gonna do or where they're gonna go.
Well, you got to watch that teaser trailer.
I do. I've been a little distracted.
Well, of course. Have you seen the new poster for the season 2?
No.
It's this. If you watched it on All Access, you probably caught a glimpse of it as a thumbnail.
Okay.
But it's this stylized Starfleet insignia, you know, with the red and black. And then in the middle of it, there is a figure of much debate. There's this sort of winged or bird-looking thing, and like everybody's tearing themselves apart trying to figure out what this is. Like some people think it looks like the Romulan insignia. There's a lot of competing theories going on.
Some people think it's a phoenix.
A phoenix.
For some reason. I have no idea why.
Because Michael's rising out of the ashes of her past life.
That must be it.
Kid, you've got the job. When can you start? Did you guys, this is only, 15 minutes or so long. With credits, probably 12 minutes or so. Did you have a favorite moment?
I kind of liked when they were really relating to each other and they were sitting on Tilly's bed and
yeah, she keeps disappearing.
Right. And she, you know, tells her about the thing that she made that recrystallizes dilithium crystals and everything. I thought that was a good moment where they were really relating to each other, that like they both had come up with things on their own that were you know, a big deal.
Yeah.
I think they really tried to show how their characters could relate to each other.
Yeah, Poe was played, I believe, by Yadira Guevara Prip, who I don't know anything about. But like I said, I think it would be cool if we got to see her again. Ella, did you have a favorite moment from the show?
I think it has to be when Poe said that they mine dilithium and Tilly realized that she was like unveiling this like conspiracy. She was like, oh, dilithium. Okay. Like, I'm fine. That's fine. Everything's normal.
Right. This weird orange bleeding alien that likes ice cream. Suddenly it's like, oh, you're super important. Okay. Oh boy.
Yeah. Ooh.
What do you think it says about her? Going into the episode, I was interested to see, or I thought it was fascinating that Tilly seems real fed up with stuff. Like she's not the sort of, I mean, we know what she's been through. She's been through quite a bit. But she's just sort of like, yeah, whatever. And she's really frustrated and just wants her quadruple espresso shot. And she I'm just surprised that she didn't go to Burnham or to go to an authority figure and say, I got this weird alien. I think she's really important. She kind of makes her own decision and just says, okay, yeah, we're gonna get you off the ship.
Listen, when you're hitting that caffeine withdrawal,
that's what it is.
It's the shortest possible option. What is the easiest fix?
I'm wearing the ice cream I was going to eat. We got to get this done. Going back to the mess hall. My favorite part was when the food replicators were just going snacks, 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 snacks.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Do you think that the future short treks will follow this basic formula? Because, and let me append that fast. We got pretty much what I expected, at least from this one, is that it was kind of talky, and not in a bad way. Clearly, the budget for these is limited, and the cast is limited. But it was like a setup. There were some pretty good effects, and then it was like a character-based kind of discussion that ate up most of the time. Do you think that they're all going to follow this basic formula? Ella, what do you think?
I don't know. I mean, the next one looks like it's going to be more creepy, but I don't know if they're going to use that just like for 45 seconds in the beginning, and then somebody's going to be like, boo, and we're going to like figure out what's going on, because like, who is the guy in the next short trek? I don't even know.
Oh, it's a character called Kraft. He's a new character that we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much all that we know. We know that he is on a ship. And personally, my theory is that this will have that sort of same formula, this next one, because his only companion is, they say an AI. I'm assuming it's the ship's computer, but we don't know. It could be an alien AI. And I think that he'll be talking, to this AI the entire time on this deserted ship. And yeah, I think there will probably be some booze. There better be some booze.
So do you think that Kraft is going to be a character that we see in season 2, or is this just going to be a one-off?
I've heard that rumored. And also this guy, Aldous Hodge is the actor that plays him, is, he's been on TV for a while. Like he's a series player type guy. So I don't think they would bring him in if they didn't plan on using him. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that one. Diane, do you think that it'll be similar to that, or crazy aliens in the next one?
I don't know. I do think it'll be kind of talky, because I guess it's hard for me to imagine them doing it another way, because it's so short. But I don't know. I mean, there could be crazy aliens popping out of it. That's definitely a possibility. But yeah, I mean, I feel like they're probably going to stick with this short trek formula.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'd like to see, I know that the third one will be focusing on Saru, and I think will be a sort of flashback sort of tale to him on his planet before he joined Starfleet. So there'll be a bigger cast in that one. Something that I would really like to see, and this would be tough with a small budget and a smaller scope, but I'd like to see them go the other way and cover like a lot of time. Like the Harry Mudd one, which is the last and the fourth one. If that one is us like seeing what he was up to, like before he gets captured by the Klingons, before we see him, and then maybe we see a scene like while he is, and then we see a scene of him escaping or like fitting his ship inside that whale somehow. Like, how did he do that? And then seeing like Stella chew him out after she gets him back from Discovery, just like these little flashes, like the like a Community episode, where they're just doing like quick cutaways.
Sure.
Instead of just having like start the clock, this happens pretty much in real time. Just telling a story by showing like what we didn't see from episodes of Discovery. And I think Mudd would be a good character to do that with. But who knows?
Yeah, that would be interesting. I don't know, get little flashes of Harry Muddness. It'd be, yeah. I mean, he's kind of a comedic character anyways. So.
Yeah. And he's directing his own short, so that'd be cool.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, I'm glad you like that. I guess I get the job too. It's time on Discovery. It's the time on Discoverage when we check out our threat ganglia to see who's going to get killed off. That's what we usually do, but since these short films are focusing on our main characters, I think they're all reasonably safe. So let's speculate instead on what we think is going to happen in next month's short trek Calypso. We talked about it a little bit already, but I'd like to see some speculation from you guys about what will happen on that episode. I think we've already decided that it's going to be a little creepier, a little spookier.
I mean, it definitely looked spooky.
Or they want it to look spooky.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know.
It's just
Maybe
going to be, it's a jelly bean party. Oh, surprise. Happy birthday to you.
The first 10 seconds are dark, and the next 14 minutes are like a Wes Anderson movie.
Right. It's all brightly colors and symmetrical shots. And yeah, I think that like, it seems like this episode, Runaway, reminded me a lot of Predator, or at least like the way Poe did. Like she's invisible and she's got glowing blood, and they seem to be like drawing on that kind of trope. So I wonder if this next one will be like an Alien type situation, or just like
we can only hope.
Yeah, like he's going around a ship. He's all alone. There's like flashing lights and that sort of thing, and he's trying to find out what happened. And if it has like a tense sort of atmosphere, like that's what I want to see.
He's talking to a robot.
Yeah.
Well, I think he's talking to like the computer. Maybe shades of that scene in the what is it? The pilot. I can't remember the second episode title, but where Burnham has to like talk the ship into letting her out of the thing.
Yes. That was everything.
That was a good scene.
And I always like to see, because there isn't often a lot of like AI and artificial intelligence in Star Trek. I mean, we got Data, but Data's like, wow, this guy's amazing. Like you can't tell that he's not a robot. So we've been promised like seeing an AI in the next episode, and I want them to really like play that up, because an evil AI, that's a good villain.
Yeah, I was thinking Space Odyssey 2001.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Open the shuttle bay doors, Hal.
Right, exactly. I'm sorry, Dave. I can't do that, Dave.
Just Alien crossed with 2001. It's like everyone's dream Star Trek episode.
Yeah. Scott and Kubrick together at last. Anything that we missed, you guys? Anything that you have not said that you want to say about Runaway?
Ooh, this might have been a throwaway line, but I want to know who Tilly's mom and who her stepsister are.
Okay, yeah. See more of her
because at the beginning, her mom was like, I was talking to your stepsister, she's so smart and perfect and fantastic at these things. And I was like, who is that? Who is I was trying to figure out, we don't even know how old Tilly is.
Right. So is the mother that we see the stepmom, or is she the biological mom, or is she is the stepsister who's the daughter of who? And yeah, is it a situation where it seems like a situation where she's jealous of stepsis, like stepsis is an overachiever?
Yeah,
like a Good Place situation.
Exactly like that. Oh my God.
I'm glad. I hope people get that reference, but you guys do. That's all that matters. Anything else, Diane, that you didn't that you wanted to say?
I don't know. I thought it was cool that she gave her a dilithium crystal to
that was cute,
as like a keepsake to remember her by.
Yeah, which I'm totally confused about dilithium at this point, because in like TNG it's pink, I think. We see a bunch of crystals in the opening of season 1 of Discovery that are green, that I guess is supposed to be dilithium.
Yeah, it's true.
This is blue. Is dilithium like kryptonite? Are there different colors that have different effects?
That could be something that they say that make it all make sense.
You put them in the warp core, yeah, and then when you peel out into warp, you get a blue flame that goes behind, or like a green flame that goes behind.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, if they all work the same, maybe they have like different amounts of power stored in them or something like that. Like the blue ones, those are where it's at. I don't know. It's
like premium gas.
Right, exactly.
We got a real fast ship. We got to fill it up with premium.
That's right.
No ethanol, no unleaded for this one. All right, well, I think that we hit everything that we needed to hit. It's a short episode, but I think it was pretty good. So that's it for our show this week. Thanks for joining us, listeners. If you like what you hear, you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter at EISTPOD for updates, and you can get notified when new episodes of both Enterprising Individuals and Discoverage are released. You can also tweet to us on the show by using the hashtag Discoverage, or email us at eistpod@gmail.com. And when you're on the internet, why not head to your listening platform of choice and subscribe to the show, give us a rating and a review, and if you think of it, It really helps us out. I should mention here that all through the month of October, we've got a contest running. If you go to Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts or wherever you listen to the show, and you leave us a rating and a review, your name goes into a drawing for a set of 50th anniversary Star Trek Trivial Pursuit cards, complete with Galileo shuttlecraft holder. So do us a favor, give us a review, shoot us an email at EISTpod and let us know that you did, and you could be the proud owner of a set of pretty tough questions, actually. This isn't child's play. This is Star Trek. These are hard questions. Also, you can stop by our Patreon page at patreon.com/EISTpod. And always, if you like the show, tell a friend. Discoverage will return next month on Thursday, November 8th for the next short trek, Calypso. We'll go live at 9 p.m. Central, just like tonight, so join us again then. In the meantime, check out our main show, Enterprising Individuals, at enterprisingindividuals.com. Every Wednesday, I and a guest discuss in excruciating detail a selected episode from a Star Trek series. We also have news from the Trek sphere and interviews with special guests. And this next Wednesday, we're talking about the DS9 two-parter, Homefront and Paradise Lost. It's a nice political storyline as we head into election season. So join us next Wednesday. Ella, thanks for joining me again for a new year of Star Trek Discovery. Remind people where they can find you online.
You can find me at Gondor Gold on Twitter, and my podcast is at Generations Geek.
What's coming up on Generations Geek?
Ooh, okay. I'm pretty sure that we're having Bill Leisner on next, so my dad will interview him.
Okay, cool.
I'm like 75% certain.
Bill Eisner, Star Trek author, former guest on Enterprising Individuals. As well.
Extraordinaire. Yes, the one and only. I do know for a fact, though, that I will be recording a bit with or without my dad about what I see tomorrow at the J.R.R. Tolkien illustration exhibition in Oxford. Yep.
You buried the lead there. It's at Oxford.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Getting on a train right away in the morning. Okay. So we're going to have a fun day tomorrow. Great. And then I can also say for a fact that I'm going to be at Star Trek Destination Birmingham. So I will be talking about that on the podcast pretty soon too.
Awesome. I know that I don't know how this works, but I know that they are debuting the DS9 dock there.
Yeah.
I don't do you know how it works? Are there tickets or like how do you get in that room?
You can buy tickets to just like mingle with all of the cast on the red carpet. And
that's a lot of pounds probably.
It's pressure. It's like a very big convention.
Right.
And like the whole disco cast is going to be there, which they announced like a week ago.
Oh wow.
Well, we got to get we have to get an update from you then, a girl on the street.
Absolutely. Oh my God. Like I already thought it was a huge convention, and then they were like, guess what? Everyone else is going too. Right. And I was like, great. So no, it's going to be so much fun. Okay.
Well, tell us if that's fun or not. I'm sure it will be. Diane, where can people find Just Enough Trope online?
Yeah, we're at Just Enough Trope on Twitter and at Just Enough Trope on Facebook and on Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts. Neat. As Just Enough Trope. Yes.
All right, well, that's it for us. Thanks for listening, and we are signing off. This is Aaron for Diane and Ella saying live long and prosper.